The topic for today is let's finish 2021 strong. Now, the topic came to me actually on a conversation with my VA, Sharon, this morning, when she pointed out it was the 30th September. And I said, oh my God, like, first of all, where has the year gone? And secondly, okay, we've got a quarter of the year left. It's the final quarter. What am I going to do to make this a strong finish for me? And that's what I thought, actually, this would be helpful for you. So here's the thing. Ask yourself this. What have you accomplished this year? And I know we've experienced unusual, unexpected circumstances, and this could have impacted all of us in so many different ways. And as a consequence, may have held us back from doing what we wanted to do or accomplishing what we set out to. So that completely makes sense. However, there is still a lot that is in our control. So what is it that we can do? What is it that you can do to finish strong this year? So if you've got a pen and paper, do grab it because you might want to make some notes. So first of all, the thing that I'd like to start with is this. We're heading into the final quarter of the year, and obviously a big part of the end of that is taken up with Christmas, holidays, New Year, and parties and socials, seeing family and friends. So oftentimes, and I'm talking about me here as well, by the way, when we look at the quarter, you think, well, actually, December's a little bit of a write-off because, you know, we're going to be going out, seeing people, doing things, Christmas, all the get-togethers, eating loads, all that kind of thing, right? And so it's like, well, maybe my daily habits, my structure that I would normally follow, they say, isn't really going to happen for a big part of December because things are just very different. And that's true. And it's true for me, and it's true for most people. So it's not about trying to ignore that and say, well, actually, let's just ignore Christmas and just keep focusing on my habits and my structure for my day. However, what it is about is not writing off the month completely and thinking or asking yourself, okay, what can I still do that will get me to where I want to be? Okay, so that's the first thing. And we have choices. Okay, we can first of all think, right, well, we'll give up now. We'll just go out and enjoy the rest of the year, and we'll focus on goals and what we want to accomplish when it comes to January and it's time to make those New Year's resolutions. Or we could say, right, I really want to finish 2021 strong. What is it that I can do that is in my control to make that happen? Now, this isn't about great big massive goals. It might be that you do have a massive goal that you want to accomplish, and that's great. And it's okay if it's a smaller goal. The point is to have goals, to have a vision of where you want to be headed in your life. So the bigger picture, and breaking that down into the smaller goals that will help you to achieve that and help you to get there. So I've got some notes that I've made on this that I wanted to share with you today. And what I invite you to do is to, first of all, identify one simple goal that you would love to accomplish by the 31st of December 2021, which means that you have 90 days to do so. And this can be, as I said, a massive goal. It can be a little goal. It could be you want to lose 5 pounds in weight. It could be you want to lose 50 pounds in weight. It could be that you want to secure a new job. You might be wanting to, if you're in a place where your year end is around December, and you might be having your annual review and pay review, you want to be able to secure that pay rise or the bonus or the promotion. So it can be any aspect of your life. It could even be that actually you've not seen family and friends much for most of this year, and now you're feeling more comfortable to go out and you know, be more sociable. Sorry, should I say it the wrong way? But, you know, go out and see friends, go and see family, and do the things you used to do pre-pandemic. So what is it that's really important for you that when it comes to New Year's Eve, you want to be able to look back and say, I did what I could. I did everything that I could to have the life that I wanted this year, given the restrictions that we have experienced as well. And so, like I said, just think of, and what I would invite you to not do is overwhelm yourself. So this is not about creating a massive to-do list of loads and loads of things you want to accomplish in the next 90 days. Why? Because I know from experience that when we do that, we tend to go into overwhelm, and then we end up procrastinating, and then we're not really doing a lot at all, or we're not being productive because we're trying to focus on too many things. So my invitation to you is to pick 1, 2, or a maximum of 3 things, 3 goals that you want to accomplish by the end of the year. So for example, one could be to be able to meet up with your friends that you haven't seen for a while and just have that social engagement you've not had for so long. One might be to do with health and fitness. It might be a health and fitness goal, losing weight, getting stronger, building your strength up, eating better, increasing your energy, whatever that might be for you. There's no right or wrong here. And another one might be to do with your career or your business. So what's important for you to accomplish by the end of the year? Ask yourself the questions. And like I said, you can pick one thing. I wouldn't pick more than 3 as goals that you want to have for the next quarter. And if you're watching live or you're watching on replay, do share those in the comments for me to see. Let me know if this resonates with you as well. So once you've identified the goal, as I said, you want to avoid the overwhelm because overwhelm leads to procrastination, it leads to doing nothing. And this is something I've shared with you in a previous live. One of the reasons I stepped away for about a month during August from doing a lot of the things that I do in my business, because I needed the headspace to really stop and look at how productive am I actually being? What am I doing effectively? Is it strategic? Is it making sense? Or am I just doing and doing because I have a long to-do list, but not really making any progress? And so I've come back this month in September a lot more energized, a lot more focused, and feeling a hell of a lot more productive than I was, let's say, 2 months ago. So again, it's always good to create that space where you can, it doesn't have to be a whole month. It could be a couple of days, a weekend, you know, even just a few hours, just step away from everything and just have some headspace to reflect on that. And I did a live on this a couple of weeks ago, so do go back and have a look at that if that would be helpful for you. Okay, so now you've got your 1 to 3 goals that you want to accomplish by December this year. So here are some questions for you to consider. And the first one is, why is it important for you to achieve this goal? So ask yourself that question, because oftentimes we all do this. I've done it in the past. Oh yeah, I want to lose weight. Actually, well, why do I want to lose weight? What is it about that that's important? And what else about that is important for me? Why else do I want to lose weight? And really dig deep. Look at all of the possible reasons. So get a notebook or a piece of paper and a pen and write the answers down. So it really gets you thinking and gets you in flow of coming up with more and more answers to those questions that I'm going to share with you today. So the first thing is, why is it important for you to achieve the goal? So I'll give you an example of one of mine for the next quarter is actually to be more energized when I hit 2022, to have more energy. And for me, that encompasses health and fitness. There's obviously many aspects to that. So I know by setting myself the goal of being more energized, having more energy means that that there are a number of things that I will need to do to accomplish that. And that is actually my main goal between now and the end of the year. So what is it for you? And why is it important? For me, it is important because I know I haven't always been eating well this year, and it directly impacts my energy levels and then my focus. And I just want to be top of my game. I know I've been there before and I want to get back there. And to be able to do that means I need to shift a little bit of weight. I need to eat better, spend more time on, call it mindfulness, meditation, whatever you want to call it, just to help me to get more balance in my life. And all of that together will create more energy for me. So I know what works, I know what I need to do, but now it's time to actually do it. So the next question, or part of, actually this is a part of the first question, is once you've understood for yourself why is it important, and really digging down to what else, what are all the reasons for that, it's also, what is the biggest reason? What is your biggest why for wanting to accomplish this goal? And be really honest with yourself. By the way, you don't have to share this with anyone. Think about what is your biggest why. For me, my biggest why is I'm having a big birthday at the start of the year. So that is my biggest why. I want to go into that next decade being my best self, health-wise, health and fitness-wise. So that is my big why. Okay. And then what we want to do is we want to look at, okay, how are we going to measure that? How are we going to know that we've actually accomplished that goal? So ask yourself questions like, when will I know that I've achieved that goal? What is the measurable behind that? What will it look like for me when I've achieved that goal? So for example, if it's work related, does it mean that you'll have been, you can confirm that you've gotten the recognition you wanted at work, whatever that might be? Is it that you secured a new role? Is it that you're now having conversations, effective conversations about where your next move is going to be, or what that's going to look like? So it doesn't have to be the actual end goal, because there's certain things that realistically we may not be able to achieve in 3 months, but you want to see that you're making significant inroads or steps in the right direction to accomplish that goal. So if the goal is to secure a new role, what does that need to look like by the 31st of December? Is it that you started to have interviews? Is it that you've reached out and connected with headhunters or people in your network, that you've updated your CV and your LinkedIn profile, that you've looked at the gaps that you've got in terms of the way that you show up, your personal brand, and what you could be doing even better in the way that you come across? What are the gaps? What is it you want to be able to accomplish by the end of December, so that come the new year, you're in a really strong place to move forward? Okay, so the goal doesn't have to be the very, very end goal. It could be a shorter goal, like a milestone that's going to get you there to where you want to be. Let me know if that makes sense. Drop a comment in. Tell me, do share with me what's going on for you, what the goals are, where you think you'd like to be by the end of the year. And so then once you've done that, the next part of it is what will it feel like? So how are you going to feel? So I've talked about what it's going to look like. How are you going to feel at the end of the year that tells you that you've accomplished what you set out to accomplish? What would that feel like for you? What are the kind of emotions that will be going on for you, or you'll be experiencing, to know that, yes, I've done this. I've put in 100% and I've gotten to where I wanted to be at this point. And what will it sound like? When I ask what does it sound like, what will you be saying to yourself that will have you realize that you've accomplished what you set out to? What are the kind of, what's that inner dialogue, that inner self-talk that will be going on for you that will have you know that, yeah, I've gotten there? Okay, once you've done that, so that's your measurable. So now you've got an understanding of knowing or being able to know by the end of the year how much you've accomplished, if you've accomplished your ultimate goal that you set yourself, and you'll understand where the gap is. Because maybe you're saying, well, a measurable is, you know, that rather than getting up at 6:30, I can jump out of bed at 5:30 and be full of energy. That's the energy measure. And actually, we get to the end of December and you can do it at 6 o'clock instead of 5:30. Okay, so you're getting there, you're halfway there, right? That's one of your measurables. So be really clear on that, because having those measurables and being able to see the progress is what will keep you motivated and spurred on to keep going as well. So that is really, really important. And then the next thing I'd like to have you consider is, what have you already tried that hasn't worked for you? In other words, what is it that you need to do differently? Because sometimes we think we know what to do and we just go on and do it and nothing changes or nothing happens. We don't move forward. And sometimes it's a case of what worked to get you where you are right now isn't going to work to get you where you want to be. So often times will be the case that we need to do something differently. So what is that for you? What is it that you've done before that maybe is no longer working for you? And what is it that you need to do differently? And as part of that, it's also thinking about, who do you need in your corner? So is it a case of you can go and research whatever you need, get all the information online from Google? Is it that you maybe need to pull on the experts in the field? So maybe you need a personal trainer, someone who's into nutrition. I'm talking about health again. Or maybe if you're focusing on your career, maybe you need to reach out to someone who specializes in helping people to advance their career, to get up the career ladder, or to increase their personal income. So all of these things, do you need, or not, sorry, what support do you need to be able to help you to get there? Which people can you draw upon? Who can you call upon to help you, or maybe to mentor you, to coach you? Who can you be accountable to? And an accountability can be anyone that you know will hold you to what you've committed to. And that can be your partner, a friend, a family member. It could be if you've got a mentor or a coach. Any of those people can be your accountability partner or buddy. So someone that you check in with, because now you know you're answerable to someone, you're more likely to keep doing what you need to do. When nobody knows, when nobody's listening, or nobody really cares because they don't know, it's very easy for you to then just give up and not do something. So be mindful of that. What is it that you need to keep you accountable? And what help and support do you need? Who can you reach out to ask for that support? And then once we've looked at that, so we've looked at what you tried that hasn't, what do you need differently? And in that instance, who can you call upon to assist you with that? Then what I'd like you to consider is how you can work back from the goal. So the goal is the end point where you want to get to, almost a vision for that particular area of your life. As I said, it could be career, it could be your health and well-being, it could be your social life, your relationships, anything, whatever is important for you right now. So start to really visualize the end goal and almost embrace the emotions that come with that. Imagine that you've already achieved it. How would you be feeling? How would you be showing up differently had you achieved that goal already? And start to live and breathe it. Start to really embrace and integrate the emotions that will go with that for you. And then ask yourself, who do I need to become to achieve this? Because by understanding who you need to become and feeling that you've already become or achieved it, that will help you to live it, and it'll propel you forward a lot quicker, rather than looking at this goal, which is, let's say, I want to lose 2 stone, right? And it just feels like it's going to be so hard work, and you're feeling like really not in a good place. You're not happy with how you look, and your energy levels are low, or whatever that might be. It's going on, and actually it's going to be such a struggle to get there. It's going to be hard work. Just the energy, can you imagine the energy around that is really going to have you struggle to start making the steps and committing to the work you need to do to get there. So start to think about, how would you show up differently if you're already there? How are you going to feel about it? And start really embracing those emotions, because those great emotions that you're going to feel there, you can start to embrace them now. Why not? Why wouldn't you? And by doing that, you'll start to remember or recognize how you're going to feel when you get there. That will inspire you to keep going, to stay motivated, to stay focused on that goal that you're looking to achieve. And also you want to look at your own integrity to yourself, because what I've learned is it's very easy to be in high integrity to other people. In other words, to keep your word to others. It's not as easy a lot of the time to be in integrity with ourselves, to keep the word with ourselves. If we commit to something for ourselves, how often do you follow through, and how often do you break that? How often do you actually not do what you say you're going to do for you? Because integrity isn't only about what we do for others, it's about what we do for ourselves. So we come back to things like self-care and putting ourselves first. And that can be important, because by putting ourselves first, we show up as our best selves for the people around us, the people that matter. So you want to think about that as well, is who do you need to become, and how and are you being in integrity with you to help you to move forward, to get to where you want to be. In other words, all of this is about, what do I need to do differently? What have I not been doing that I can now do that will help me to achieve my goal? So I hope you're making a note of these. Then once we've done that, you want to look at go back to your measurables. You want to break those down a little bit. So you want to create milestones. And what I would propose you do, you've got your goal for the end of the year. So what are the milestones for the next 3 months? You've got the end of October, end of November, end of December. So December is your ultimate. Where do you want to be at the end of November? Where do you want to be at the end of October? And be realistic about it. You know, if it is a health goal, and you know you've got to do X amount of training, of exercise to get there, be realistic. Are you going to be able to fit that into your daily schedule? How much realistically of that can you do? Because again, you don't want to put yourself into overwhelm or overcommit to something which will then likely take you out of integrity, have you kicking yourself and beating yourself up because you're not doing what you committed to, and then potentially giving up because you're not doing it and you're not seeing the progress you're making. So ensure that your goals are realistic. So start with your monthly goals. And then once you've got your monthly goals, look at what you're setting yourself for the end of October and say, right, what do I need to accomplish by the end of each week during October in order that I can be where I want to be by the end of that month? And do the same thing for November and December. And again, you want to remember and take into account the Christmas holidays, the fact that you might have a lot of social activities going on during December. So you want to be realistic, but also still have an element of discipline to focus on your goal, to keep focused. And then once you've done your weekly, you want to look at your daily. So break that down again and say, right, so again, I'm focusing on the health example. What do I need to do each day to move me closer to my weekly goal? And that could be maybe 3 days a week. You want to do your resistance and weight training. You know, maybe 3 or 4 days a week, you want to do the cardio, or you want to make sure that you're walking every day and you're hitting your 10,000 steps. Whatever it is for you, whatever program you're on, whatever you're following, just be realistic, but look at it. What is it you need to be doing each day? The little steps to move towards. And remember, you are allowed rest days as well. So don't beat yourself up. Don't try and kill yourself. Make sure you include some rest time or rest days in and amongst all of that as well. Right. And then finally, if and when you find yourself at that place where you are thinking, oh, this is really hard, I just want to give up, or I'll start in January, stop and ask yourself the question, how will I feel on the 31st of December 2021 if nothing has changed? And give yourself some time to answer that question. Really think about it, really consider it, and think, how am I going to be feeling in 3 months' time if nothing has changed? Because I'm a huge advocate of not living with regret. We have so much more control than we realize, and often we don't realize what we are capable of. So take that first step, pick a goal, however big or small it might be, and start building out your milestones, your daily, weekly, monthly milestones to achieve it. And you will thank yourself for it at the end of the year. You will feel so good for it, and it will propel you forward into the new year, because by finishing the year strong, it will give you even more impetus to keep going, imagining, what can I do now over the next 12 months? Look at what I've accomplished in these 3. And as you may have heard me say before, anything is possible. So it can be the smallest goal, the biggest goal. It's all subject to your personal vision, your desires, and you know what it is you want to achieve in your life. Don't compare to what other people are doing or what goals they're setting themselves. This is about what you want. And remember, there are people out there who can help and who can support you. So whatever those goals are, think about the gaps that you've got, what is missing, what information you don't know, and who are the people you can reach out to help and support you on that journey. Let me know if this has been helpful for you today. If you're watching on replay, again, do share your thoughts, ask any questions, and if you'd rather do it directly to me, feel free to direct message me on this, and I'm more than happy to have a conversation with you and help support you to move forward. So for now, what I would like to do is to say thank you for joining me today. And until next time, remember to build your influence, to make an impact, and be remembered for all of the right reasons by showing up as the best version of you. And if you've just joined partway through or hopped on now, do remember to, do remember to grab your copy of the Personal Brand Playbook. The link is in the comments, where you can get more information about the different areas of your personal brand, what will help you to stand out, be more visible in the workplace, and be remembered for the right reasons. And decision makers who are thinking about the annual review, the pay rise, the bonus, who's deserving of it, who's done what. Because if you, like me, early on in my career, keep your head down and work really hard, people don't know about you, they don't know what value you're bringing to the table, that's when you're more likely to get overlooked. So you want to ensure that you're making yourself known to the right people by building out your personal brand. So grab the playbook, which will give you some strategies and tips on how you can do that immediately. And also there's a brand assessment in there that you can complete to identify the gaps that you've got and where you can focus on to show up as an even better version of you. So any questions, of course, pop them in the comments. I will come back and answer them. And thank you once again for joining me, and enjoy the rest of the week. Take care.